Ever wonder if ancient Egypt was humanity's original Airbnb for aliens? Some folks swear extraterrestrials built the pyramids, because apparently, without blueprints beamed down from Sirius, humans just can't stack rocks into triangles. Let's be honest, that myth sticks because the pyramids are colossal, the engineering baffling, and who doesn't love a little cosmic soap opera with their archaeology? But here's the kicker. Every credible archaeologist points to skilled Egyptian crews, not a squadron from Area 51. Think less men in flying saucers, more guys with some serious back pain. The Pyramid Project was a logistical masterpiece, powered by thousands of workers, advanced math, stubborn trial and error, and let's not forget, very generous beer rations. The tech? Ramps, levers, sweat, and a serious sunburn factor. Honestly, the only otherworldly thing ancient Egyptians needed was sunscreen. So why care? Giving aliens credit for these feats sells short the dazzling grit and brainpower of humanity's ancestors. Next time you gape at those pyramids, remember, the real magic was handcrafted. No Wi-Fi signals from Andromeda required. Just as extraterrestrials are said to have influenced ancient structures, so too do legends tell of the Knights Templar safeguarding enigmatic treasures from the past. Imagine a band of medieval warriors so secretive, even their helmets came with privacy settings. Enter the Knights Templar. Not your run-of-the-mill sword swingers, but the OG masters of two-factor authentication. One blade, one secret handshake. Thanks to a cocktail of Raiders of the Lost Ark fever and a splash of Dan Brown flair, pop culture paints these knights as mystical treasure guardians. Part banker, part Ark of the Covenant security detail. The legend? They stumbled upon unfathomable riches beneath Solomon's temple, and have since spent centuries playing cosmic keep-away. Every modern treasure hunter is convinced the Templars' loot is stashed somewhere between Paris, the Scottish Highlands, and possibly your nosy neighbor's basement. But when we check the historical playbook, the sparkle quickly dulls. Turns out, the Templars spent more time escorting pilgrims and running medieval banking. Think Europe's first cash points, than burying bling. Enter King Philip IV of France, broke and paranoid, who accused them of dark magic, snatched their assets, and called it a day. The real Templar treasure? Probably just a few dusty goblets and a knight's salary, barely enough to buy a round at the local tavern. If a secret treasure exists, it's hiding better than your Wi-Fi password. The mystery of secret treasures opens the door to the fascinating idea that lost civilizations like Atlantis possessed unimaginable advanced knowledge. Imagine a lost civilization that makes Silicon Valley look like a neighborhood lemonade stand. That's Atlantis, a place so advanced they might have had Wi-Fi that actually worked underwater. Take that, beachfront resorts. The legend? First dropped by Plato, ancient Greek philosopher and part-time proto-Hollywood screenwriter. He painted Atlantis as the Bronze Age's ultimate tech startup, which modern imagination has since upgraded to flying vehicles, death ray crystals, and eco-friendly temples powered by good vibes. Or at least that's the pitch YouTube's selling. Nowadays, Atlantis gets credited for everything short of inventing the selfie stick. Some fans insist Atlanteans schooled Egyptians on pyramid building, gave Mayans their math, and left Stonehenge blueprints lying around. Yet archaeologists still haven't unearthed the Atlantean iPhone. The reality? Plato probably intended Atlantis as a "don't get too cocky, kids" cautionary tale, not an ancient TED Talk. Still, who wouldn't want to hitch a ride on a Tesla chariot? While Atlantis's mystery centers on ancient power, other tales suggest the Romans wielded control through dramatic acts, like deliberately burning their own city. Did the Romans really torch their own city for kicks and a dash of political gain? Picture Rome in 64 AD, flames licking the skyline, crowds scattering like startled pigeons, and perhaps the world's worst city planning meeting blazing away. Legend has it, Emperor Nero dreamed up a plan to raze prime Roman neighborhoods, clearing space for his glittering golden house. All he needed, a little urban renewal, courtesy of some strategic arson. But before you light the torches, ancient sources don't actually hand Nero the match. At worst, he had an ego sizable enough to heat the entire city solo. The real culprit? Rome's tinderbox of wooden buildings and gusty summer winds. Fire was a disaster waiting to happen without a royal spark. When the ashes settled, Nero faced a PR nightmare hotter than the flames. His solution? Blame the conveniently unpopular Christians, ancient history's version of "the dog ate my homework," but way more devious. If only senators yelling "Et tu, flammu!" doubled as a fire alarm! From orchestrated fires in Rome to the enigmatic global presence of pyramids, these stories point to hidden influences shaping human history. Ever heard that all the world's pyramids were designed by one ancient, globe-trotting super-civilization? Sounds like Raiders of the Lost Ark meets HGTV, International Edition. The myth goes that Egypt's pointy wonders, Mesoamerica's steep steps, and China's mysterious mounds all trace back to a single secret society. If those ancient builders really hopped continents like that, someone definitely should have invented frequent flyer miles first. And let's be real. Those stone triangles didn't just magically pop up wherever there was sand or jungle because of some ancient build-your-own pyramid kit hidden inside a sarcophagus. Here's the unvarnished truth. Pyramids sprang up in different places, centuries apart, built by people who hadn't even exchanged postcards, let alone masonry hacks. Their designs and construction methods, totally different, shaped by local needs and whatever materials were lying around. The allure of a lost builder race is just coincidence dressed up as conspiracy. Real history? It's not a cover-up. It's a celebration of human creativity, not international architectural copy-pasting. The idea of a worldwide civilization behind pyramids parallels claims that secret societies, perhaps hinted at in Da Vinci's art, have steered history's course. Did Da Vinci really wield his paintbrush as a spyglass for secret societies, or was he just the Renaissance's most gifted doodler? Popular belief has everyone combing every curly brushstroke in The Last Supper for secret handshakes and clandestine codes. Thank you very much. The Da Vinci Code. Suddenly, Grandma's Mona Lisa fridge magnet became a treasure map for encrypted bank accounts and papal secrets. Let's clear the varnish. Da Vinci loved puzzles, sure, but mostly for his own amusement, not for Dan Brown's next bestseller royalty. The so-called hidden symbols, the fuss over mysterious V-shapes, missing apostles, and Mona Lisa's alleged sly wink blend right in with Renaissance art conventions and Da Vinci's penchant for clever pranks. If he really was slipping messages to a secret society, he'd have trusted folks to squint at his canvases for 400 years? Spoiler alert, professional art historians agree he wasn't plotting world domination between brushstrokes, unless that world's secret was the invention of waterproof boots, not Illuminati rituals. Mona Lisa, if you're winking at a cult, blink twice! Beyond artistic clues to secret orders, ancient Sumerian myths also suggest contact with alien technology altering humanity's path. Imagine ancient Mesopotamia not as dusty ruins, but as the original set of ancient aliens, complete with tablet-toting extraterrestrials struggling to explain cuneiform to utterly baffled humans. The wild pitch? The Sumerians must have had cosmic help. Because surely mere mortals couldn't build ziggurats or invent math without a little intergalactic tutoring. Die-hard believers pore over Sumerian texts and artifacts, eagerly spotting anything star-shaped or vaguely rocket-esque and proclaiming, "Aha! Proof of visitors from the stars." But let's come back down to Earth for a moment. The Sumerians pulled off dazzling feats: writing, advanced math, urban planning, all armed with nothing but reeds, mud, and arguably too much free time. So far, archaeologists haven't unearthed blueprints stamped property of Orion space engineers, nor discovered a secret spaceship hangar buried beneath Ur. If ancient Sumer had Wi-Fi, the signal clearly never made it past the humble invention of the brick. Human creativity, powered by curiosity, necessity, and maybe a few heated canal debates, is the real alien in this story. After all, the only visitors back then were likely nosy neighboring tribes, not Martian tech support. Building on tales of extraterrestrial tech in Sumer, some stories specify gray aliens as influential figures in shaping cultures like ancient Egypt. Did little gray aliens moonlight as interior decorators in ancient Egypt? Or are we just wildly misreading the blueprints? Myths pile up thicker than mummy wrappings, claiming crab-eyed visitors from the stars touched down in Giza, got bored, and casually knocked out a few pyramids before heading off to vandalize crop circles. Enthusiasts eagerly point to hieroglyphs, those squiggly lines, and insist they're UFO doodles, not just bird meets reed. Then there's the favored argument that pyramid math, celestial alignments, and mummification techniques are far too advanced for mere mortals, because clearly, wielding geometry is some cosmic superpower reserved for aliens on their coffee breaks. Fact check. Unsurprisingly, the archaeological record is about as empty of Martian membership cards as my inbox is of job offers. No credible evidence ties extraterrestrials to these colossal limestone puzzles. Egyptians left behind shopping lists and grand inscriptions, never once mentioning gray consultants billing by the hour. And those elongated skulls? Just an ancient case of DIY head shaping, not E.T. Helmet hair. Honestly, if aliens built the pyramids, couldn't they have left a user manual? Or at least a warranty? Instead, over millennia, Egyptian culture evolved step by brilliant step, guided by ingenious humans, not little green or gray men desperately phoning home for design tips. From alien influences in Egypt to prophetic knowledge in the Americas, legends tell of civilizations like the Mayans foreseeing the world's fate. Picture this, December 21st, 2012. The world's supposed expiration date according to the Mayans. Cue the doomsday parties, frantic canned bean hoarding, and clearance rack raids on apocalypse gear, because apparently, the Mayans' end-of-the-world memo got stuck in the cosmic spam folder. The myth snowballed. Many believed the Mayan calendar was ticking down to humanity's grand finale. Spoiler alert, the real story's about as thrilling as watching paint dry on a pyramid. Here's the scoop. The so-called prophecy was simply the end of a Mayan calendar cycle, kind of like when your phone's calendar runs out and resets with a shrug. If the world ended every time a calendar did, I'd be toast every January 1st. There were no ancient scripts warning of fiery doom. Apparently, doomsday sells better in Hollywood than on hieroglyphs. The Mayans were far more interested in maize harvests than dream-casting disaster blockbusters. The only apocalypse in 2012 was that movie everyone reluctantly watched, and maybe a handful of catastrophic blind dates. So next time someone whispers about Mayan doomsday, just smile and say, "We've survived worse." Like expired yogurt. While some cultures predicted the world's end, others whisper of figures such as Alexander the Great, who defied time's limits with secret immortality. If Alexander the Great were still kicking, your social studies teacher would have retired centuries ago. Maybe even invented a brand new grade just for students tired of conquerors. Legend has it that Alexander never actually died. He just kept moving like a globe-trotting vampire with better travel plans. Some say his body refused to decompose for days, sparking rumors he was divine, unkillable, or simply immune to funerals. Take that. Silver bullets and garlic? His VIP tomb in Egypt was so exclusive, you needed a lifetime achievement conquest just to get a peek inside. But here's the reality check. Alexander died at 32 in Babylon, snatched away by fever, poisoning, or maybe just a mosquito with impeccable timing. That famously fresh corpse? Ancient embalming tricks, not immortality hacks. Historians agree. No Macedonian death defiers are roaming about, although we're still watching Keith Richards closely. Alexander's true immortality? Endless school essays and the hopeless dreams of conquerors who never update their Instagrams. The myth of Alexander's eternal life sets the tone for darker tales like the Salem witch trials, which some say were sparked by a powerful curse. Forget everything spooky movies taught you. It wasn't a cackling witch's hex that kicked off the Salem witch trials. Salem in 1692 was far from chill. Imagine a pressure cooker Puritan town where religious zeal and neighborly grudges ticked like a malfunctioning grandfather clock. Then one day, a bunch of girls started writhing and shrieking in mysterious fits. Basically the 17th century version of a viral TikTok challenge. And boom, whispers of witchcraft popped up faster than pumpkin spice lattes in October. Accusations flew through town like squirrels after spilled cornmeal. But here's the kicker. There was no original villain waving a broomstick or cackling in the shadows. The real culprits? A volatile cocktail of mass hysteria, extremist beliefs, and maybe even some moldy rye bread. Hello, ergot poisoning. Turns out, a bad reputation spreads faster than a cold in kindergarten. So drama-hungry teens rocking a whole village? That's a tradition older than Starbucks. No real witches, just collective panic and a bunch of very regretful Puritans once the dust settled. From witch curses haunting Salem to the divine bloodlines of the pharaohs, these legends explore humanity's connection to supernatural forces and extraterrestrials. Why did ancient Egyptians build pyramids stretching toward the stars? Simple. Their pharaohs were supposedly halfway home, fresh from a UFO family reunion, and just waiting for the mothership to park. Pop culture can't resist a juicy alien angle. Just point at a pyramid, squint at some mysterious hieroglyphs, and voila. Ancient astronauts, Pharaoh edition. Some even claim those elaborate headpieces weren't just royal bling. They supposedly hid cosmic skulls. Alien theorists gleefully toss around evidence, from strange visitors etched on walls to whispers of lost supertech. Historians, meanwhile, are crystal clear. The pharaoh's only otherworldly trait was a sense of self-importance, bigger than the Sphinx's paws. DNA tests on royal mummies prove their roots are pure North African. Sorry, no Martian in-laws here. Those long skulls? Just ancient head binding, not intergalactic genetics. The closest ancient Egypt ever came to little green men? Mummies after 3,000 years without moisturizer? And if pharaohs were truly ETS, shouldn't they have left us at least decent WIFI? Egyptologists' patience for alien theories? Abduction level thin. Claims that pharaohs descended from alien origins dovetail with stories of secret societies like the Freemasons, covertly guiding the fate of cities like London. Ever wonder why the city of London has more secrets than your uncle's incognito browser history? Legend credits the Freemasons, those cloak-and-dagger artisans rumored to have sprinkled secret codes across London like breadcrumbs for conspiracy buffs. But here's the kicker. The modern Freemasons only got their act together in the early 1700s, centuries after London had already sprawled. Plague, fires, and all. Take the city's heavy hitters. The Tower of London and St. Paul's Cathedral both predate the first Masonic Lodge meetup. That square and compasses symbol etched on buildings? Less Illuminati GPS, more like an old Union logo from a stonemason giving the local blacksmiths a run for their money. And the whispers of underground tunnels snaking beneath the city? Sorry, Sherlock, it's mostly tube tracks, not secret cult lairs plotting your grocery prices. If the Freemasons truly ran London, every pub would hand you their secret handshake along with your pint. The real rulers? Monarchs, merchants, and anyone with enough coin to bribe their way to a swankier flat, proving the city's real secret sauce isn't conspiracy, but cold, hard cash. Just as Freemasons purportedly shaped ancient London's destiny, so too does the Great Wall of China allegedly serve as more than mere defense, as a covert communication device. Imagine the Great Wall of China as humanity's oldest group chat, a colossal, endless notification thread stretching across the landscape. Legend has it, this wasn't far from the truth. The wall doubled as an ancient high-speed info highway, zipping urgent imperial messages from Beijing to the far frontier faster than you can say, unread notifications. Soldiers on watchtowers supposedly sent up signal fires like prehistoric push alerts. Invaders approaching. Inbox 0. Some tales even suggest the stones themselves chattered through magical vibrations, an ancient version of Morse code with a built-in mileage plan. But let's fact-check the fantasy. Sure, beacon towers used smoke and fire signals, but those alerts were local, not cross-country memes. The signal didn't exactly go viral. Every few miles required a fresh beacon. Nobody was live-tweeting the Hun invasions, and the wall's main job wasn't keeping followers updated, but keeping invaders out. The real message carriers? Runners, because carrier pigeons have the attention span of, well, pigeons. If the wall ever caught spam, it mercifully never made it past the next tower. From secret signals embedded in the Great Wall to the technological mysteries surrounding the Ark of the Covenant, history may hold powerful ancient devices beyond our understanding. Forget Indiana Jones. Was the Ark of the Covenant the Bible's version of a nuclear reactor? Picture it, a gilded box so powerful, even Moses needed rubber gloves and safety goggles. Ancient astronaut enthusiasts argue the Ark wasn't just a fancy stone tablet holder, but maybe the galaxy's first high-voltage artifact, smuggled straight from Area 51 BCE. According to them, this divine chest could zap intruders with celestial lightning, a cosmic taser for righteous crowd control. Some say the ark's design, a golden shell wrapped around acacia wood, resembles the world's most inconvenient primitive capacitor. Sorry, Israelites, batteries not included, but innovation? Absolutely. The Bible does mention people dropping dead after mishandling the ark, but historians chime in, it's myth, not manual. Without the sci-fi gloss, there's zero archaeological proof the ark powered anything, except feverish imaginations. If it ran a city, why were the Israelites still wandering for 40 years? Maybe God wasn't a fan of shortcuts. After all, the real hazard was probably just stubbing a toe while hauling the ark around. The ark's advanced energy hints at ancient scientific knowledge, much like Chinese legends of the phoenix revealing secrets to immortality. Imagine if your grandma's chicken soup really did grant eternal life. Just toss in a few phoenix feathers. Picture emperors sneaking into the kitchen, feather duster in hand, hoping to whip up a batch of immortality. In ancient China, the lure of living forever was simply irresistible. Enter the Feng Huang, the legendary phoenix, not your run-of-the-mill attitude-ridden pigeon. It dazzled in rainbow colors, symbolizing immortality and cosmic balance. But let's hit pause on the myth. Ancient Chinese folks didn't actually bottle up immortality or raise phoenixes in backyard coops. Had they cracked that code, dynasties wouldn't have toppled like a cosmic game of Jenga. The elegant Feng Huang actually stood for virtue, harmony, and high status, not a literal get-out-of-aging free pass. Emperors and scholars were more into alchemy than poultry farming. Their so-called elixirs of life often featured mercury, because nothing says forever young like an accidental dose of poison. Pro tip: don't swallow the mercury pill. Still solid advice, even today. Moral of the myth? The real story's far more fascinating and way less bird-brained than any fairy tale could suggest.